Now available in paperback and e-readers. John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes, 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. I got a comment on my video where I made a response to Professor Black Truth's video about the boycott of black-owned businesses. And this individual wanted to say that me making videos about the Passport Bros was counterintuitive. Now, according to this individual, I was just supposed to go out here and remain silent about the Passport Bros and continue to go on with my own business back in 2019. However, what this individual doesn't understand is that I went out here and made those videos because I care about the overall black community and I want to see brothers and sisters get empowered and come together as a collective. And what impedes us from coming together as a collective are dysfunctional narratives like the ones promoted by the Passport Bros. And if I, as a black business owner whose mission was supposed to be about creating positive stories about the black experience, were to remain silent, that would be a complete compromise as related to my integrity as a black man. It would be a compromise of my integrity as a black business owner, and it would be a complete betrayal of my mission as a publisher. Because as related to me making those videos, it was about me maintaining my integrity and character as a business owner. Because if I were to have gone out here and remained silent, then I would be no different than the black pastor in the black community. Because what the black pastor does is that while he goes out here and so-called preaches messages of blessings and prosperity, he goes out here and remains silent as related to the black community's numerous issues. And as he remains silent about those numerous issues, he goes out here and creates a covert contract where he gives black women a pass for their irresponsible, reckless, and egregious behaviors. And as he gives the black woman a pass for her behavior, she goes out here and gives him tithes and offerings and compromises the entire word of God that he says he preaches from. And if I am a man who is following the Most High God and serving the Most High God, then I have to maintain my integrity, and I have to go out here and promote messages that run in line with the Word of God from the God that I serve, 1. 2, I have to maintain my integrity as related to the messages and mission of the SJS Direct imprint, where I'm talking about creating positive stories about the black experience and diversifying the picture of black culture through literature. And I have to go out here and maintain my integrity as related to what I am presenting in my publications, keeping things consistent as related to my words and my actions. And again, that in and of itself is not counterintuitive. No, that is showing integrity and character, and that is something that many black people really don't understand about how a black man is supposed to carry and conduct himself as a business owner and a leader. Because if you are out here and you are the face of your business, you have to go out here and be consistent in your mission and your message, and you have to maintain consistency in your mission and your message, because this is how people see your integrity and character. And once they see your integrity and character, they go out here and take you seriously. And they take you seriously because they see that you're going to maintain your integrity as related to your mission and your message, and that you are someone who is going to stand up for what you believe in. These intangibles of character mean a lot to me, and they mean more to me than money overall, because while I lost a lot of patrons on my Patreon, and I had a lot of people going out here stalking me on social media, the most important thing for me was about maintaining my integrity and maintaining the consistency of my message. Again, when you're out here and you go out here and give passes to people, this is something that shows how you have a compromised character. And if I go out here and I give a pass to the Passport Bros and the Swirlers and the hashtag Divestors, then I am no different than the Black Pastor, who is a part of the Black community and a person who just sits there and remains silent, giving people passes so that they can go out here and continue to compromise the moral fiber of the Black community, all while sitting there saying, oh, the Black community is bad. But if you don't have the integrity to stand for what you believe in, then you cannot go out here and speak out on certain subjects, because if you don't have the integrity to stand up for what you believe in, then people don't have to listen to what you're saying. I mean, when I look at these guys who are out here talking about these Passport Bros, again, I don't really like talking about that subject because these individuals get emotional. And again, they take everything personal, not understanding how they're undermining their own Black economy. Because the reason why the Black economy is in the dire strait it's in is because most Black people don't go out here and see a value in being Black. We don't see a value in our own selves. And because we don't see a value in ourselves, what we do is put ourselves last and then expect other people to go out here and put us first. And it doesn't work like that at all. No, you have to go out here and put yourself first. And when you put yourself first, what you're saying to the world is that Black people have value. And you have to, when you say Black people have value, you show that value by having the integrity to go out here and do what I do, and that is try to support Black-owned businesses whenever I can, or go out here and try to employ Black people, ensuring that the Black dollar remains inside of the Black community so that it can enrich our brothers and sisters and ensure that our brothers and sisters are taken care of. That is what a responsible steward does in the Black community. And a responsible steward wants to go out here and again have the integrity to say, I love Black people, I love the Black community, I want to see the Black community be the very best, I want to see brothers and sisters thrive, and I want to build businesses in the Black community so that Black people can go out here and we can start getting ourselves out of poverty and see a value to ourselves, that we create a higher quality of life for ourselves. And that's not something we can do with people who think that we need to go overseas because they are emotionally hurt over Black women, because a lot of the Passport Bros, they let their emotions just overtake them, and as they're letting their emotions overtake them, they make decisions that run counterintuitive to their own economic survival. Because what these individuals do is think that they can go out here and leave the Black community, sort of like the Black females who are swirlers and divestors, and they believe that if they invest in somebody else's community, that they are going to have a place in that community. When in actuality, if you leave the Black community, what happens is they're not invested in you because you put yourself last from minute one. And since you put yourself last from minute one, the people who are running that community are not going to put you first. It's just like the brother of Logic and Common Sense talks about how these communities are territorial, and these communities, since they are territorial, they don't see you as a part of their community, and they don't see you as a part of their economy. No, their economy is built by them, and part of maintaining that economy is making sure that that economy takes care of their own people first. And when they look at the black people who want to talk about passports swirling and divesting, they don't see these people as a priority. No, all they see is their cash. And sadly, you have a lot of black men who are spellbound and only thinking about getting back at that black woman, not understanding how it's hurting themselves economically when you go out here and walk away from black-owned businesses like mine and walk away from the black community as a collective, because it's those black-owned businesses that are going to be the base for uplifting the black community. It's going to be black-owned businesses that are going to be the ones that go out here and employ and empower black people. And if we are not empowered as a people, then we don't have any power to take to outside communities, because outside communities don't respect the black community, and they don't respect the black community because black people, again, put ourselves last. And we always think that the white man's ice is colder. And in the case of the Passport Bros, we think that somebody else's woman is better than our black women. And again, they have this mindset, and they think, oh, because I'm having problems with black women, I'm going to go out here and take my black dollars and travel to another community, not understanding you're taking resources out of your community, part of the 3.3 trillion in cash and credit. And that's taking more of those 97% of black dollars straight out of the black community and keeping black people in a perpetual state of poverty that black people will not be able to escape from. Because if you as an individual are out here, or you're going to get picked off. And again, the value of your dollars drop as related to those communities, because with you going to somebody else's business, you have to do business on their terms. And this is part of the economic drought that just impoverishes black communities, even though we have $3.3 trillion in cash and credit. And again, people would rather sit there and tell me to go out here and give these individuals a pass. But if we're going to go out here and build a stronger black community, we need more individuals to have integrity. We need more individuals to have discipline and resolve. And we need these individuals in business positions, because it's black businesses that are going to be the economic base that creates the political power that changes the quality of life. And because that's how it's done in every other community. I mean, if you go to white, Hispanic, or Asian communities, it is the business community that creates the foundation for the standard for the quality of life. It is the business base that goes out here and makes the connections with politicians to ensure that you have good schools, ensure you have quality roads, make sure you have good libraries, make sure you have community services, make sure that people are employed, and in those communities, those people make sure that their people are taken care of, because they value their people, they put their people first. And when you go to their community, the first people employed are their people by the businesses in that community. Unfortunately, in the black community, a lot of us get in our feelings about what a black business owner is saying to them, because they are upset over traumas from the past. And because they're upset about those traumas from the past, they wind up hurting themselves economically in the future. And as they hurt themselves economically in the future by working against black business owners like myself, they wind up in a situation where they wind up stuck in a codependent relationship with these businesses that basically abuse us, like the one in South Carolina, in that where this 14-year-old boy sadly wound up losing his life at the hands of an Asian gas station owner, or some of these other stores where people are racially profiled, and provided poor quality products. And again, I only made those passport videos in 2019 because I care about black people. I care about building a better black community, and I want to improve the quality of life for black people. And that runs along with my mission at SJS Direct that's related to creating positive stories about the black experience, showing you a richer and a more diverse picture of black life. And I do that because I care about black people, and I don't want to see black people in a situation where we continue to remain second-class citizens by our own actions. Because when we go out here and empower other people or support narratives that are out here that elevate other people above us, we put ourselves in a second-class position. And this is something many black people really don't understand about how it correlates with black-owned businesses, because they don't understand that if every dollar we take out of our community further keeps black people in poverty. And I care enough about black people to stand up and care about our brothers and sisters so that we understand that black love is also a part of this. And again, we have a lot of people who are angry at black women, not understanding that if we want to build a stronger black community, you're going to have to work with a lot of those sisters, and you're going to have to work with those sisters, because if we want to empower ourselves, we all have to work towards building up our community and our businesses. And we're going to have to get out of our feelings about things, because what the white supremacists do is do things like the gender war, get us going into back and forth with each other, and then they use this to push anti-black narratives like the swirling narrative, like the divestment narrative, like the passport narrative. They use these narratives to divide our community and take part of those $3.3 trillion in cash and credit right out of our community. And as we are in our feelings fighting each other people are getting rich at our expense, sending their kids to top private schools, going out here and building businesses in our community. And they build those businesses in our community because we refuse to work with our people, and we get in our feelings about what somebody says, and not understanding sometimes people are saying things to you because they care about you, and they care enough about you to say, hey, we need to go out here and stop pushing these narratives that are detrimental to us, these narratives that run counter to our own economic interests, because you don't see any other people out here talking about getting passports and getting with other people's nations. You don't hear white guys talking about, I'm getting a passport. You don't hear Asian guys pushing these narratives. You don't hear Hispanic or Arab guys pushing these narratives, because they know that it is economically detrimental to them. And they understand that if they want to build wealth in their communities, they need to go out here and present messages that show solidarity and show how people are coming together, because wealth is built by a family coming together, and this is how wealth is built and maintained and passed on from generation to generation. And if you want to maintain and build black wealth, you're going to have to work with a black woman if you're a black man, and you're going to have to work with a black woman if you're out here, and a black man. Again, for black men and black women are going to have to work together to build wealth in the community, because that ensures the way black wealth is going to pass on, because black wealth doesn't pass on when people marry non-black people, like in the case of the late Tina Turner. All of her wealth is now going to a white man, and in the case of Kobe Bryant, all of his wealth is going to a Hispanic woman. And again, the black community gets none of that money as their legacies go on. And again, this is something many black people don't think critically about, because we get in our feelings about some black girl who hurt us in high school, or some black girl who dumped us when we were in college or when we were out here. We get upset over these women instead of thinking about our legacy as men. We don't think about the big picture as related to our economic condition, and that is what Professor Black Truth was trying to get people to understand about the drought as related to black businesses, and what I understand about the big picture of the black economy. We don't really understand our economic picture, because we are just caught up in getting social currency. We're caught up in being liked, and we're caught up in trying to gain favor and approval of other people instead of thinking about trying to build a base of economic empowerment for ourselves. And this is sadly why the black community winds up continuing to remain in poverty. Even though we have $3.3 trillion in cash and credit, we still are so caught up in our feelings, especially on the black male side, about black women, that we're not thinking about how we are empowering ourselves as men. And again, people, this viewer didn't understand that when I went out here and made those videos, I could not remain silent, because I see a narrative that, again, is detrimental to black men back then. And I cared about my community, and I wanted my community to improve as related to its quality of life, because when we sit up here and talk about going to other communities, we are taking dollars out of our communities, and that doesn't make sense, because all of those same peoples who we try to give money to are not giving us respect. And if we sit there and disrespect ourselves, we cannot go out here and say we want our respect. And again, we're not looking about our economic picture, and because because we're caught up in our feelings about black women, we're not thinking about our economic picture. And if we don't think about our economic picture, we're not going to have that base. And again, people will just go out here and come to our community, take our money, and leave you continuing to remain in poverty. And this is something black people aren't really thinking about, because again, we get caught up in our feelings about black women and bad black women, that we don't see how we're hurting ourselves economically as a collective of black men. Now, if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my sorority novel, The Thetas, my vampire novel, Eternal Night, or many of my men's issues books, you can go out here and pick up those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this and continue to support a black-owned business that wants to support you, you can go out here and send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, Godbreaker in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support black-owned and black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.